bringing you the latest news from Coronado Athletics. This is the Mustang Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. We are in the Mustang Fan Zone. As you can tell, I've got a lot of friends all of a sudden. Not Jason and Crystal were friends too. There just was not as many of them. We're going to talk some Coronado girls basketball. I'm going to jump in before I forget. I need to read through my list real quick. Sit tight, ladies. I've got to do my housekeeping here. We changed the format a little bit this year. We're going 3 nights a week in the fall, but we changed the order. Monday nights are Estacado, Memorial, and Liberty, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Tuesday nights like tonight are Monterey and Coronado from 6 to 7 p.m., 30 minutes each for each of these schools. Wednesdays are Coach Ferrell's former school, Lubbock High, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper, 6 to 7:30 p.m. From 6 to 6:30 on Double T 97.3 and right here on 100.7 The Score. On Friday nights, you can listen to the West Texas Friday Night Preview, and then 9:30 to midnight on those same 2 stations, you can listen to the West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard. Archive shows can be found on the High School Fan Zone page at doubleTSportsNetwork.com, and make sure you download the 100.7 The Score mobile app to listen live or to podcast of this or any of the other 7 High School Fan Zones. Girls, welcome in, and lady, welcome in. It's good to see you guys all. I've told you all I've covered you before. I've seen you before. I don't think I've talked to any of you, have I?
No, sir.
So, all right. So, Chuck Hines.
Yes, that's my guy.
Do you go by Kate or Katie? He bounced back and forth.
Yeah, it's usually Cat or Katie.
There we go.
Yep.
I think he told me a nickname and I can't remember.
Yeah, Big Cat is what they
there
call
we
me.
go.
Even the kids call me that.
I'm careful with the information that Chuck passes on just because he's Chuck. Let me get you to introduce the players, and then I'll have them all say something so people recognize them by voice. We're on TV up there, as you can see, but we're also on radio. So if folks are listening, I want to make sure they know who's talking.
Yeah, so this is my point guard, Gracelyn Lota. This is another guard/forward, Cameron Hill. And then this is our other guard, Sanaya Brown.
I'm glad you kind of identified them because watching Coronado the last few years, there's not been a lot of size difference. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of girls the same size. Now, you have one coming in that's a little bit bigger.
Yes, Kaylee.
Who's got a little bit of Coronado and basketball DNA in
Absolutely.
Her system. So you got a little bit of size coming.
Yes.
Girls, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Sanaya Brown.
I'm Cameron Hill.
My name is Gracelyn Loda.
There you go. So now we know who's talking and who's saying what, and that way they'll keep me out of trouble. We talked, you came in the spring, I think not too long after you'd gotten the job.
Yeah, I think it was a couple weeks after.
And you were fired up.
Yes, I was very excited.
You were excited to be, it was your first head coaching job.
Yes, sir.
You're not that old.
No, 26.
I was going to say, I've got a daughter your age, so that makes me feel really old. Almost your age. I can, a little bit of grace. But you've got some connections to Lubbock. You coached at Lubbock High how many years?
2 years.
2 years with Brent Palmer, and how many years with Coach Gerlich?
So with Coach Gerlich, I played my freshman and sophomore year at UTA under Coach Gerlich. She then got the Texas Tech job where I finished out 2 more years, junior and senior year under Sharika Wright, and then I reunited with Coach Gerlich for my COVID year. Okay. So I got that 5th year of eligibility to play at Texas Tech with her.
And you're coming from Plano.
Yes, sir.
Who was your high school coach there?
Rodney Belcher.
Okay. The coach now, or I'm thinking of Allen. Allen is a Plainview. I'm married to a girl from Plainview.
Uh-huh.
The Allen coach is...
They might have a new one since I've been there.
It's possible, because Allen and Plano are just these gigantic high schools. At least you get to... you recognize most of your girls during the day. It's
absolutely
a little bit different.
Yes.
So you've got some time under your belt in Lubbock. Mm-hmm. So is this home for now?
For now, yeah. For the foreseeable future, it is.
It's a little bit different than the Metroplex.
It definitely is. But to me, West Texas basketball, especially girls basketball, is one of the best.
Without doubt. And especially your district. We're going to talk about a little bit. We may not get that much into that tonight. We may wait for later on when we get closer to your district. I'll get these girls to talk about it. You all have played in this district. Coaches coached in it, but you got to be ready to go every night in your district with the teams you play. You went through it last year. You had some growing pains. How much more ready is this team, this program now?
I think that we are way more ready than we were last year. last year we were kind of like on a losing streak within even the season before that, and we faced a lot of adversity, but we weren't really taught how to like push through the adversity. And I think this year we definitely, our coaches and our new coaching staff really pushes us to have like a growth mindset and how to push through adversity even when it's hard.
Cameron, you were shaking your head there. What is, go into as much detail as Coach will let you.
I think I'm gonna piggyback off Sanaya. I think that we hit a lot of adversity last year, and it like kind of brung us down. But I think with Katie and Grace, that we're gonna push ourselves even more. Which
coach? Who's your assistant coach?
Coach Grace Foster, three-time All-American under Coach Gomez over at LCU. A great addition to our staff and program.
Yep, I didn't want to leave her out because she's a very well-known name in Lubbock. And you mentioned Steve Gomez. That's how long I've been in and around Lubbock. This is my second time. Steve Gomez was the boys basketball coach at Lubbock Cooper when I started. So
nice, yeah.
He's got some West Tech. I believe he played at Monterey.
I think you're right. I think he may have coached there a little bit as well.
And so he's got some West Texas in his blood as well. Graceful, we're coming up on a break, but so real quick, you guys all have latched on to Coach pretty quick here. That's easy to tell just you guys talking to her. What kind of breath of fresh air she brought since she stepped into that job?
I think her being so young and recently just playing the game, not coming out of it too soon, just really shows like that the game is always changing. And so for her to teach us what she's known and what she's experienced, I think it's all of us are like more ready to learn and wanting to pick up what she's teaching us.
I think it's safe to say either you or a former assistant coach with you that's over at Talkington, one of you two is the youngest coaches, so you get to wear that banner for a while. So we're coming up on a break. We'll be back in the Mustang Fan Zone right after this on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Coronado athletics. You're listening to the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back into the Mustang Fan Zone on a Tuesday night. We're talking Lady Mustang basketball. Katie Ferrell, or the players even call you Big Cat?
They do sometimes. Right. They'll joke around with me. And
does Coach have to be in a good mood for that?
Usually.
There we go. I want to bring this up too. I think yesterday was National Coaches Day. I want to spread that out. It needs to be National Coaches Week. I forgot to ask the two coaches that were here before, but who have been your coaching mentors or who's influenced you the most?
Yeah, I would say my high school coach, Rodney Belcher. He was just someone who I think believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself, right? And his resume speaks for itself. He's been at the college level, boys side, girls side, all the things. We won a state championship together under my senior year. And then for sure, Krista Gerlich. I mean, she definitely saved my life. So I still always go back to Lady Raider practice at times. I try to make as many games as I can. But she had a big influence, not only as a coach, but just as, a young kid trying to figure it out. So,
all right. So you girls, I think it was Graceland mentioned that Coach is younger. She was a really good player. She accomplished a lot. I know she's not going to brag about it, but when you have you looked at her background a little bit to kind of understand where she's coming from?
Yes, sir.
What is it? And not that the previous coach had a very good college career herself, and I was very good friends with her, so I know she had some. But this coach has some skins on the wall that are pretty new still. How does that help you to know that she's been in your shoes just 6, 7, 8 years ago?
I feel like.
Hold that up a little closer so Mom can hear you.
I feel like that Kat is more attentive to us because since she's so young, it's like easier for her to adapt to how we play, and it's like different from a lot of other areas in Texas because Texas is really big and everywhere it's different. But also my favorite thing about Kat is that she teaches us to have like grit, and that it's not always about the skill, and it's always about how much work you put in and your effort and how hard you can go, and that you should always push yourself as hard as you can go.
So Cameron, again, I keep putting you on the spot without getting in trouble with Coach. Tell me what practices have been like. You're not fully practicing, but since the workout, since Coach has gotten there.
I think they've been good. I think it kind of depends on us, like, mostly. But I think they've been good. Like, she's a good coach. Like,
But describe one. Are they up-tempo, fast-paced?
like, we have fast-paced, but, like, we also, like, need to slow down a little bit because she tells us to. But, like, she also wants, like, to go fast. And, yeah, that's basically.
Because Graceland, as I mentioned, y'all weren't the biggest team in the world, so you're going to have to do things a little bit. Now, we'll go back to the West Texas thing. Coach mentioned this. There's Canyon teams. There's teams that don't have a bunch of size, and they are really good at what they do. What do you think, Coach? Have you been able to tell what Coach is kind of instilling in you guys, what kind of style she wants you to play?
Yes, sir. She wants us to really play disciplined and as a team. And not only, of course, one of our main advantages is just running the ball in transition, but not only just being good at that, being disciplined and being able to score in a half-court set as well.
Because there were times I saw you play, I think I probably saw you play every district team except maybe Lubbock High last year, and you guys had your moments where you're right there in games. Monterey was a different animal in Lubbock, obviously, had the number one player in the country who could turn it on and off anytime she wanted, but you guys held your own against a lot of teams in your district. What confidence did you bring from your sophomore years that you think you can kind of lean on now?
I feel like the confidence that our team as a whole is bringing is just like that underdog mentality, because like everybody looks at Coronado as like we're not on anyone's radar, like no one's really worried about us because of our past 2 years. So I feel like us knowing that we're gonna prove something this year is definitely a confidence booster.
So I can tell you're young because I've got a daughter your age. Hasn't been too terribly long. You guys, Coronado's got a very rich tradition and history, and I know Coach knows about it because you probably heard about some of the players while you were growing up. Some
Absolutely.
Of the ones that.
Yep.
So you guys aren't far off. It's not. And the one thing about being in high school, that goes quick, but you can make it. You can turn it around really quickly. So. Speaking of quickly, we're running out of time in the second segment, so we're going to come back. One more segment talking Lady Mustang basketball in the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Your inside look into Coronado sports. This is the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to the Mustang Fan Zone. I was just telling Micah Robertson Smith stories, so if she's listening, yeah, I'm speaking well of you, Micah. I'm telling her that you were a player back in your day, and my father-in-law said that was one of the toughest players he ever played. And the first time I met Kaylee, and I think you guys can vouch for this, Kaya was really good. And Dad introduced me to Kaylee, and Kaylee, the first thing Kaylee said is, "I'm going to be better than my sister."
I believe that.
I think she was in the 6th or 7th grade, so she got a little swagger.
Yes.
And that's going to add something for you guys. You guys have what you have as your junior class, but having a young player come in like that, what's that going to do to kind of give you guys a shot in the arm?
I think it gives us definitely a confidence booster, like with being like the underdogs, because having someone like that is willing to go every possession, every play, really will bring the energy for the team up, especially considering what we had like in the past few years. Like no one was really like that. There was no one to just like come and bring the energy up. It was all just everyone was like mellow.
So I'm going to get you to brag on your mom, because I was talking about Micah. You've grown up with a basketball background. Tell folks who your mom is.
My mom is Jamitra Clark. Well, now Jamitra Hill.
And where did Jamitra play college basketball?
She played college basketball at Texas Tech University.
For a pretty famous coach named Marcia Sharp.
Yes, sir.
He's a good friend of my family. When do you remember, or what it may have been Dad too, because with Kaya Smith and probably with Kaylee as well, it was actually Dad who nudged her and got her going. Was that the same case with you, or was it both Mom and Dad?
It was both my parents.
And when do you remember basketball becoming a thing?
When I was in the 2nd grade.
Oh, wow. So you've been playing you were 8?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you know your way around a basketball court. What about you, Graceland? I don't want to leave anybody's parents out here. When did basketball become the thing for you?
My dad and my brother played basketball a lot when I was younger. I would say I started practicing dribbling the ball when I was maybe like 5 years old, and I always remember getting dragged around to watch them play.
that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
That's important. So, Katie, when you hear that these girls have been at it for a while. The cupboard wasn't bare. It may have been some dust up there a little bit, but what have you learned about these girls in the short time you've worked with them?
Yeah, something that I've noticed is these three have been playing either with each other or against each other since they were, young. So I think that brings, an extra layer that I really, they know how to play off each other. They know each other's tendencies, different things like that. They've all been on varsity since they were freshmen. So that's actually why I brought them today because, I tell them every day, like, y'all are the leaders of this team. So I think that just brings that extra layer of really knowing your teammate, what they like, what they don't like, how I can talk to a teammate, how maybe I can't talk to a teammate. So I think that's an extra piece that I really like coming in and to coach them.
So you guys to the point where you can answer each other's or finish each other's sentences yet? Are we talking about that, knowing each other that well?
Well, me and Graceland, we say the same things all the time.
Yes.
Okay. So if the HubCityPreps.com guys interviewing you after the game, I should not ask for you two then, is what you're saying. At the same time.
No, you should.
Should? What about, I don't want to leave her out. If she's,
Kim. She'll say stuff too.
All right, now if Kaylee's listening, I'm going to get in trouble. She's playing volleyball. I'm going to be a little bit nervous about asking her questions after the game because of that first meeting. I'm afraid because sometimes y'all are young and you just say stuff, and I have to like turn off the recorder or just look at coach and say it's okay. I'm not going to use that.
Right.
So, but y'all say what you want. I enjoy you guys being candid. So, and I plan on coming out and watching you pretty quick. When is the season opener?
November 7th, but it's away. Our first home game will be November 14th.
And if Candy has her way, it could be a while before you're a full complement, but you're gonna go. You're gonna go play.
Absolutely.
And I like what you said about you girls can just nod to this if you want. What the thing about West Texas girls basketball is they're fundamentally been taught well. They play hard, and there's a little chip on their shoulder whenever they play those Metroplex teams that kind of it gives them a little bit of an edge. So I think you're going to enjoy. You saw it at Lubbock High the last few years, but you're going to see it with Coronado girls because, like I said, it hadn't been long. Coronado's you're not too far off. So. That wraps us up on Tuesday night. We'll be back tomorrow night with Lubbock High, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper in the high school fan zone on 100.7 The Score.